Chiamaka was known in her village as a hard-working young woman. Life had not been kind to her. She never had the opportunity to attend university because her parents couldn't afford it. After finishing poly-secondary school, she started selling clothes in the bustling village market. Slowly, with sweat and sacrifice, she built her shop into something big. But one morning, disaster struck. When she arrived at her shop, she met nothing but ashes and smoke. Her shop had been burnt down overnight. At first, no one knew the cause. Later, they discovered it was a faulty electrical connection that sparked and set everything ablaze. Chiamaka collapsed in tears. All my millions, where will I start from?" she wailed, rolling on the ground. Her fellow market sellers gathered around, consoling her, but their words were powerless. That shop had been her life, her blood, her only hope. She was unmarried, without children, and everything she owned had been swallowed by the flames. Days later, overwhelmed by grief, she fainted in her room and was rushed to the hospital. After a few days, she recovered, but the pain in her heart was heavier than before. At home, she sat alone, thinking endlessly. "What will I do? How do I start again?" she asked herself. She thought about work. She thought about begging. Then her mind drifted to crime. What if I become a robber? What if I steal? At first, she shook the thought away. But hunger grew stronger than shame. With no money, no food, and no help, she convinced herself she had no choice. That night, Chiamaka dressed in black trousers, a mask, and carried a fake gun that looked real. She walked to a small POS shop, pointed the weapon at the frightened girl inside, and barked, "Your money or your life." Terrified, the girl handed over the cash. Chiamaka snatched it and ran into the night. The police came the next day, but there was no trace of the thief. From that night, a new Chiamaka was born. She moved from one village to another, robbing secretly. With every theft, she grew bolder. She hid her money in a secret room, built herself a bigger shop, and lived a double life. A respected clothes seller by day, a ruthless robber by night. Soon, she moved to a new town where no one recognized her. There, she reopened a fine clothing store and gained customers. To the world, she was hardworking, but in the shadows, she was feared. One day, a man named Chica entered her shop. He admired her beauty and came back every day, always buying something small. Over time, he began to show interest in her. "Chiamaka, I like you. I want to know you better," he said. But Chiamaka was cold. "Do you even have money to take care of me? I can take care of myself." Chica didn't give up. He asked to visit her home, but Chiamaka always postponed. She had too many secrets hidden in her house. Then fate played its hand. One night, while robbing as usual, Chiamaka entered a house, and it happened to belong to Chica's cousin. In the confusion, her mask slipped briefly. Though she quickly covered her face, Chica's cousin caught a glimpse. He later told Chica, who grew suspicious. From then, Chica watched her closely. One evening, he followed her secretly. He saw her enter her house, waited, and then saw a figure dressed in black slip out carrying a bag. He followed, step by step, until he witnessed the unthinkable. Chiamaka, the woman he admired, stormed into a shop, fired her gun in the air, and forced people to hand over money. Chica froze. His heart pounded. So this was her secret. The hardworking seller by day, a thief by night. He wanted to expose her immediately, but that night, he had no evidence. The next time, he followed her again, this time with a camera. He took pictures of her in action, and the next morning, he marched to the local police with the evidence. By the time the police arrived at her house, Chiamaka had fled. But Chica gave them everything: the photos, the times, the descriptions. Soon, the police issued a warrant for her arrest. The villagers were in shock when they heard. The woman they admired, the seller they trusted, had been the thief tormenting their nights. Finally, Chiamaka was caught, betrayed not by strangers, but by the very man who once wanted her heart. Her double life crumbled in an instant.